Let's do the countdown. Five, four, three, two, one. All right, making sure technology gets hooked up. So thanks for jumping on. This is my Friday live, and I want to run through this, get right into it, having some great discussions with folks I work with around this strategy of reaching out. These are lead campaigns. I'm going to be focused specifically on LinkedIn, but this applies to any campaign you're doing, email campaign or whatever it is. This is a process and an agenda that if you follow this, it's just for me, it's always been the right way to reach out because we all get people just reaching out and pitching nonstop out of the gates, cramming things down our throats. And, I get it. That happens everywhere, but it's not the right way to do it. And even if you get clients that way, they're not sticky, they're not going to last. And so we've got to build relationships with people we're reaching out to. And how do you do that? And think about this that when you're building relationships early and often in the process of reaching out, it doesn't have to take months or even weeks. It can really start to happen in a meaningful way on the very first call with the person if you have the right process and you do this the right way. So let me walk through this quick diagram here, and I'm just going to comment on it. So you're reaching out. Obviously, you find your leads. Let's say you're doing it on Sales Navigator. You find your leads, and this is even the process for you're just doing it onesies and twosies along the way. But you find your leads, niche down to them. Now you got to connect to these people. First step. So you have proper messaging to get out and connect with people, and then as they connect, the first thing you want to do is you want to offer value. You want to give before you take. If they connect and you're pitching and you're doing that nonstop, it's good night, Irene. It's not going to be a process that's going to work very well for very long at all. So you offer value and think about your own business, your own practice. What value can you offer to your constituents? Put yourself in their shoes. What do they care about? Get creative. Think about this. And I want to give you a real life example. So I'm working with really great Vistage Chair right now. It's executive coach, Vistage Chair, doing great things. And the value that she's going to offer, and this is something that I do for my own campaigns, is to offer the opportunity for the folks she's reaching out to appear on her leadership series. This is an interview series she does with top leaders in the area, and there's great exposure for everyone in doing this series. And she has some very dynamic people on this show. She has a media channel. This is a leadership series, and it's fantastic. And so it's an offer. And people love talking about themselves, their business, especially if you've got it set up so that you have a big network. And in this case, being connected to local CEOs and C-suite executives, this person may want to network with and get in front of. But it's an offer. It's a valid offer. It's great. And the offer then is going to be to record this session, edit it, and then to stream it out there as a live LinkedIn event. It's going to be simulcast on YouTube and multiple LinkedIn channels, the guest, the individual I'm working with. And so it's a great thing. And if you position this properly and build it up and it's a legit offer, this is what we're doing. And it's what I do for my own business. I have people on my giant TV media channel. I love doing it. It's a way to give back, and it's great. And so think about an offer. What can you offer to the people you're reaching out to that will entice them to want to engage with you? So now the next step is you're getting on a Zoom with this person. In this case, it's to record the session, the interview, 15, 20-minute interview about their business. But a lot of things happen here. So first of all, you've come out of the gates giving before taking. So now you break down the barriers of someone thinking you're going to pitch them, the wall comes down, and now you get on a Zoom with them. Well, what happens on the Zoom in the first call? You're talking about their business. They're obviously going to ask you about your business in this scenario. and you're going to start to build a solid relationship with that person. And if you're asking the right questions and being curious on that first call, you're learning about the challenges of their business opportunities, what's going on with them, getting a feel from them. You're building rapport, and trust and all that, which we do on the first call. So you have a relationship there, and it's started based on you giving them something. So it just is a whole different vibe when you're talking to somebody for the first time based on you're giving them something they get on. And people, when I do this, often ask me all the time, is there a cost to this? Why are you doing this? They see the value and they're wondering why you're doing it. And what's in it for me is that dynamic people like them are on my show. It makes me look good. It's branding. So it's great for all of us. I'm upfront about that. I said, hey, you're a great person doing great things. You're on my show. So you're getting on the Zoom and you're establishing the relationship and finding out what they care about. So then, in this case, you record the session, and this person now is in your pipeline. So this is pipeline build right here. You have a relationship with somebody, you've gotten to know them. Now they're in your pipeline, and you've got to have that pipeline organized. I've talked about this before. Have a pipeline sheet with all the information, because what's going to happen with your pipeline is you're going to nurture nonstop your pipeline. And in the case of this, where you have gotten on a Zoom and you've offered this value and you know something about them, the nurturing of this pipeline done this way can be very strategic. You can start to send them specific information, content that applies to what you learned about them on the Zoom call. And you can be very creative about that. And so there's a big discussion there about how to even follow up after that session and direct content to them after the call and what you've learned on the Zoom. But my point is, you have a pipeline here. Now you're nurturing, managing your pipeline, being organized, and converting that pipeline. And when you do something like this and you have that Zoom, you have a reason to follow up with somebody. You never want to hang up the Zoom call and never follow up. In this case, you're going to be streaming an event, so you'll walk them through it, connect the LinkedIn account, so you have a reason to follow up with them. Now you're nurturing them as a follow-up. And so you can build that relationship early doing it this way and get to the point where you start having a discussion about helping them out with their business because they just have learned about you and you've broken down the barriers. So this doesn't have to be, months, long, build a relationship and think about your selling cycle. This is a great way to work within your selling cycle. So think about your business. What can you offer? Do you have this sort of a process going out to your own constituents as you're building? All right. Thanks.